Hey guys, what's up? My name is Eric and I'm the Techy Agent, and today we're taking a look at the brand new Garmin Vivosport. Now, even though the Vivosport is new to the Garmin Vivo lineup, it's not really an all-new device. This really does look a lot like the previous generation Vivosmart devices. The Vivosmart HR, the Vivosmart HR Plus, and the Vivosmart 3 all heavily influence the new Vivosport. So first up in this review, I'm going to highlight some of the features, let you know a little bit about the product itself, and then I'm actually going to show you some real-world results doing some steady-state cardio training like cycling and jogging, and also taking this into the gym and doing some weightlifting, CrossFit, boot camp, high-intensity interval training, and letting you know how this held up. So the very first thing that's so impressive about the Vivosport is that it looks like your standard, tiny little conventional fitness tracker that you wear on your wrist to track basic metrics such as steps, calories, sleep, and all-day distance. And it does all of those things, but this has some built-in sensors that really take this above and beyond the typical tiny little fitness tracker that you would wear on your wrist. So this has a GPS for tracking distance-based sports like hiking, jogging, cycling. Also has a barometer for tracking your altitude during those distance-based sports. You're also going to get an accelerometer for tracking your movement, a heart rate sensor obviously for tracking your resting and active heart rate. This is waterproof, so you can wear this with you into the pool and into the shower. You'll get a color touchscreen, smart notifications like call, text, and email alerts, built-in music controls for controlling your music player on your phone, a built-in weather application, activity and sports tracking, and all-day tracking for things like your sleep, all-day calories, and more. So just because you're getting a tiny, concise little package of a fitness tracker doesn't mean that they're going tiny on the features. You're getting a lot packed into a very small package. You can access most of those features and metrics by simply swiping up or down on the watch, and you'll be able to scroll through a variety of different menus and options that access all that is available on this watch. Now, even though this does have an always-on color touchscreen, Garmin claims that you'll get up to 7 days worth of battery life in smartwatch mode. However, in my experience, if you use this to exercise and use the GPS or built-in heart rate sensor, you are going to have to charge this about once every 4 to 5 days, possibly even more if you use the GPS feature a lot. Now, unfortunately, the watch is not compatible with any external heart rate sensors like Bluetooth or ANT Plus chest straps. However, this does have Garmin's built-in Elevate sensor. Now, it does only have 2 LEDs in comparison to what Garmin uses on a lot of their larger devices where they have 3 LED lights. But the actual sensor itself is the same sensor that Garmin is using on all of their highest-end watches. Now, when it comes to steady state cardio exercise like walking, jogging, or cycling, this watch did really well, phenomenally well, in fact. The heart rate sensor on this did better than I think any other optical heart rate sensor that I've ever tested. So that was surprising, I guess. I think it's because it's just such a great sensor on such a light device that pairing worked really well for steady state cardio. And so I got great results from this. I was very happy to see the heart rate data that it came back with, and the GPS data on this was also very accurate. So when you're done with your run or with your bike ride, you can go ahead and review all of that information on kind of a dashboard for that workout, and you can dive in and check out mapping information. And then you'll also get advanced metrics. And this is where Garmin really shines on their GPS watches. They give you metrics that you just don't really get on a lot of other fitness trackers of the same price point, including elevation information, running dynamics or cycling dynamics, heart rate information, cadence, and much, much more. So don't let the small size of this device fool you. This is an advanced GPS watch. It doesn't have the battery life of other GPS watches, but this will provide you the same accurate information that you get from much more expensive GPS watches. So after having such great results with steady state cardio exercise, I went into the gym super excited for this heart rate sensor to see how it would perform, and I was immensely disappointed. This heart rate sensor just did not perform well in a gym context. So I put this through several gym workouts and experienced disappointing results every time. So it wasn't just, a one exercise and a fluke. I did put this through a variety of weightlifting and strength training exercises, boot camp style, high intensity style exercises, and I was just very, very disappointed. And so I don't know what Garmin has done here, how they got such an accurate heart rate sensor for cardio, but then got such a sensor that didn't perform well in a gym-based context. I don't know what that dynamic is going on there, but those were my results. Now, a lot of people have been asking me how the gym tracking is on this, specifically the automatic rep counting, because this does have the same rep counting ability that now the Fenix 5X has, or the Fenix 5 series, and even the new Vivoactive 3. And so, yes, this has that same technology built in, or that same software built in, where it can track your reps, and so I did take this into the gym. However, I had mixed results with it, honestly. So I found that for certain exercises like push-ups or exercises where my wrist wasn't moving a lot, this did have some difficulty tracking that movement and counting those reps. Additionally, since it's such a small touchscreen, Garmin had to change the layout on how you interact with the rep counting. On the larger devices where it has larger screens from Garmin, you can edit things like the weight, you can go back and edit reps, and I had difficulty doing that on this because it's such a small touch screen. You kind of accidentally hit buttons and move on to the next rep or the next rest period. And so I just was not impressed with the rep counting on this device. So I don't recommend this for gym-based exercise because the heart rate sensor didn't do great, and then even the automatic rep counting on this didn't do great, and I wasn't able to easily edit the rep counting information when it was wrong. So because of that, I wasn't happy with what I experienced in terms of strength training. Also, in terms of just doing high intensity interval training, again, the heart rate sensor just was not able to keep up with those kinds of exercise. So for boot camp, high intensity interval training, or something where your heart rate is going to be escalating really high and then coming down and then escalating really high again, this just didn't hold up under that kind of pressure. Now, one of the areas where this does excel is in Garmin's fitness monitoring. It does a whole lot more than just looking at your sleep and all-day calories burned and your steps and all of that data. You'll actually get a stress score, which looks at your heart rate variability. So as you experience both physical and psychological stress, you will get a stress score that will let you know maybe you need to rest a little bit more, or if you have a low stress score, it allows you to push yourself a little bit harder. And honestly, having heart rate variability or a stress score on a device this affordable is a huge selling point. This is a feature that is usually only offered on fitness wearables that are much more expensive than this. All of the connected features were nice, so you do get weather information, you get music controls, you get call, text, and email notifications delivered right to your wrist. The screen is a little bit small for this to really be considered a truly fully fledged smartphone, but I still found them useful, and I was really glad that Garmin included them. Okay, so on the Techy Agent scale, I would give this a 7 out of 10. I'm gonna dock it a few points because the heart rate sensor just did not hold up in the gym for strength training, gym-based exercise. The heart rate sensor did great for cardio and steady state cardio, cycling, and jogging. So if you're someone who does primarily those exercises and you're interested in this device, I would highly recommend it. But if you're someone who does mostly gym-based exercise, you might be frustrated with some of the dropouts that you'll experience with this heart rate sensor. The other reason I'm docking this is because the screen size was just a little bit too small. Yes, they improved giving it a color touch screen, and it was very touch responsive, and so I appreciate that improvement. However, the screen size was just too small. Even on a device this small, I feel like Garmin could have, figured out a way to put a slightly larger screen on there. It's such a small screen that when you're swiping between the menus and you go to touch something, your whole finger covers up the entire display, and you're not really able to navigate as well as you might if the screen was a little bit larger. And so, yeah, that was my only other nitpicky thing, but it's a solid 7 out of 10, and I think Garmin has a winner on their hands here, especially at this price point, especially with with built-in GPS. I really don't know of any other watch that has this tiny of a footprint, this small of a form factor that includes GPS and is this accurate and reliable in terms of steady state cardio for both heart rate and GPS data. So if you're someone who is looking for the smallest, most concise GPS package that you can possibly find, something that's actually going to be really accurate, then the Vivosport is definitely the watch for you. If you're someone who's a gym rat and you like to get into the gym and do some CrossFit boot camp, high intensity interval training, or lift some weights and do strength training, then this watch is probably not for you. I would not recommend it just simply because of the heart rate sensor. That being said, all of the health metrics that this collects, all of the all-day health statistics were enormously helpful. You get a stress score that I found was really accurate. You get all-day resting heart rate information. You get your steps, you get your sleep, you get your calories. This does come with a very comprehensive look at your all-day health. So if you're someone who wants, again, something that's small, not very obtrusive, something that's lightweight on the wrist that you can wear 24/7, that you're not going to notice that it's there, this is definitely a great option for those of you wanting to keep tabs on your health. This is going to be a one-size-fits-all approach from Garmin, and that's what they're trying to do here. They're trying to create a small device, a small fitness tracker that's going to compete with some of the smaller devices that are out there. So I'm going to put some purchase links in the description below where you can pick this up for the best price possible. And I'm sure I didn't hit everything in this review, so if you have any questions, make sure you hit like and subscribe, and then leave a comment below, and I'll try to get to those comments as quickly as I possibly can. If you enjoyed this content, please consider becoming a Patreon supporter. The Patreon link is in the description below. Hey guys, thanks for watching. My name is Eric, and I'm the Techy Agent. We'll catch you next time.